At one point, she's like, you need to stop being so romantic about this dream. Unpaid bills are not romantic. And I am like, retweet!
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music of
This put me in a very good mood, and I can't wait to talk about it and hear your first thoughts, because you had never seen this movie before.
I had never seen this movie before, and it was very interesting. We'll talk about it. Guys, we're doing a good one today.
This is, first of all, welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast. No! I'm gonna take that one again. Welcome to 5678, a movie musical podcast, where we review and recap movie musicals, and sometimes my automatic cat feeder goes off in the background.
Oh, starting strong. So today,
we are doing
La La Land
from
2016. Now, I had never seen this, and the biggest thing that people always told me was that they hated the ending of this.
Interesting.
So one of my biggest pet peeves with modern musical theater is the need to make everything nice and happy and wrapped with a bow, which this did not do. So I really appreciate that, because I love it when a director or a creative team trusts their audience to leave not feeling perfectly 100% happy wrapped in a bow. Mm-hmm. I love when you leave feeling nostalgic or
thoughtful,
sad or thoughtful or wistful. That's a good word for this movie. This movie feels very wistful. Mm-hmm. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Anyway, we should get into this because we're doing our dissection before we go through the plot.
Yeah. I do want to really quickly say, I liked this so much better this time I watched it than the first time I did, because I was watching it in the context of it as an Oscar contender, and I was comparing it to all the other fantastic films, and I was really pitting them against each other. Whereas this time, I could just enjoy it for cinematic
just for
sake.
itself.
And
which it was very cinematic. It was a beautiful movie.
I cannot wait to talk about the cinematography of this film. Okay.
We begin,
as all films in LA should, with the honking of cars
and a bright blue sky.
And we are stuck in traffic on the freeway.
Yep. Music starts to pick up.
We hear the radios from different cars.
And we start our first opening number. I was kind of shocked that this opening number did not have either of the main characters, but that's completely fine because it sets a tone. It's not necessarily about setting up their characters.
It sets up the world.
Yes. So this is a bunch of people singing about why they moved to LA and what they gave up to be here, basically.
The song is called Another Day of Sun. We follow a bunch of different ensemble dancers. There's dancing on the hoods of cars. There's dancing from one car to another. There's flipping. There's bicycles. There's skateboards. It's amazing. And it's
at one point, they open up the back of a truck and there's a full band.
It just...
And then there's a dance party.
I have been missing strong opening numbers.
I know, you've discussed this.
I love them. And it put me in a really, really good mood.
Yeah, absolutely. I could tell that it was Mandy Moore choreography instantly because I did watch several seasons of Sunny Things You Can Dance, so I recognize her choreography.
I just said say yes to the dance, not say
like... Say yes to the dance!
Ignore me.
I would watch that crossover.
But so at the end of our opening number, we get the title card, Winter. This is the first of our many, many, many long shots.
Oh my god, long shots.
Final pose of the dancers on the hoods of cars, arms up to the sky. They hold it, we get the title card, Winter, and then the camera pans down, and we see the same highway, same cars in the gridlock, and we see Ryan Gosling in his fancy old school vintage car.
Kind of broken down a little bit, but it's a nice car.
And he's futzing with not his radio, a tape recorder, because this car has a tape recorder, and he's trying to find the right song on this tape recorder. And from this, the camera, without cutting, takes us from his car and his audio setup to the next car in front of him, which has Emma Stone in it.
In a Prius.
She's on the phone, but we realize she's actually running lines and pretending to be on the phone. She's an actress. She has her sides next to her. She like is running the lines and she fucks them up, so she looks down at the paper, she's trying to figure it out, and then other cars start to drive past. She doesn't realize the car ahead of her has moved. Ryan Gosling is behind her and laying on the horn until finally he gets...
Yeah, it's not like multiple beeps, it's just like one held.
Yeah. And ultimately he just like goes around her and like stares at her and she flips him off, and that is all one take.
Yeah, it's incredible. I know, the filmography of this movie is stunning. So we cut to a coffee shop. I called her Emma until they introduced her character, but her name is Mia. We will find that out in like 2 scenes. Mia is working there, and a very fancy lady who is obviously a
movie
famous
star
person comes in to get coffee. Mia's just like a little bit starstruck.
Also, we realize this is no ordinary coffee shop. This is a coffee shop on the Warner Brothers lot. So we see this movie star pick up her coffee, walk out the door. More people are staring at her. She gets in a golf cart, and then there's just like a bunch of like Roman soldiers walking in the background. But you're right. She looks at her phone, little Google Calendar alert, audition.
Bling. So she runs to leave. It's like 5 minutes before the end of her shift. And as she's leaving, she accidentally runs into someone and coffee gets spilled all over her. And like a fool, she doesn't have a change.
Yeah, she's wearing a white button down. She gets iced coffee all over her. Cut to the audition that she's going to. She's wearing like a blue winter coat to hide the coffee stain.
The stain. And this is like a big emotional scene where like she's on the phone with someone and she gets some news and she's like welling up tears. It's a good audition. And in the background, like not in focus,
through the window of the door,
we see the assistant like trying to get the casting agent's attention and like putting a note on it until eventually the agent stops her in the middle of this very emotional scene to talk to the assistant. And before letting her finish, she's like, you know what, I think we've seen enough, and then closes their audition. Oh boy.
And she leaves the audition and of course passes 10 plus other redheaded girls in white button downs
who look exactly like her. Yeah.
Cut to Mia's apartment. It is a wildly decorated apartment. The colors,
oh my God.
the color
in
this film, the lighting. There's so much creative lighting, and
lighting is a form of storytelling.
Yeah. And like seeing that now integrated into movie musicals, in addition to like your dramas, yada, yada, yada. It's just really, really nice. But so her apartment, wildly decorated, so colorful.
So she collapses into her bed, but she goes to take a shower and she has a moment looking at herself in the mirror, and just then one of her roommates bursts in. So there's like 4 girls living in this apartment. Anna and I have had an apartment in which 4 girls live in an apartment with 1 bathroom. There's like sometimes a bit of a battle. You make it work. They all ask about her audition and they're getting ready to go to a party, and Mia doesn't want to go. 2 of her roommates come in to convince her that she has to go with them to make fun of all of the Hollywood cliches that they're going to see. And they start to sing their next song.
Which is called Someone in the Crowd.
Yes.
I just got chills. I'm thinking of like...
Anna's a bit overwhelmed.
I am. But yeah, it's an ensemble song with all 4 of the girls talking about seeing like that person in the crowd that like makes your whole life worth it.
Yeah, or just like someone that could help, someone that'll choose you out of the crowd.
Yeah, and we get like a little getting ready montage, and then they get in the car and they drive and they arrive at the party. The song cuts out for a little bit. It's kind of quiet in the background. There's like a montage of weird, awkward encounters with like Hollywood social climbers until Mia's like uncomfortable enough that she hides in the bathroom. And we get a quiet verse
moment,
to herself in the mirror, very like when she was looking in the mirror in the bathroom at her apartment. But she then leaves the bathroom, singing again to herself, and the party is now in slow motion.
And it's not like actual slow motion in terms of like having slowed down the camera frame. It is just people moving very slowly, which is really gorgeous.
It is trained dancers doing their best.
So as she walks through them, they slowly start to move faster and faster until suddenly someone jumps into a pool and it goes faster than it had been before. So it's like the tempo picks up even higher. It's such a cool moment.
I know.
It's like one of my favorite moments of this movie, and it was like 5 minutes in and I'm like, ah!
And the camera is now in the center of the pool and it's spinning around and we see all the party guests dancing, everyone singing, someone in the crowd. And it builds to this like fantastic hype, then cut to Mia having left the party and discovering her car has been towed.
Oh, no. It was at this point that I'm like, where are her friends? Like, she drove them there. It's not like they all took different cars. Like, where are they? Anyway, so she starts walking home, at which point I wrote, in LA?
In LA?
I was like, girl, now is the time for an Uber. So she starts walking home, and she walks by a mural of all old Hollywood and jazz stars, and she starts to hear some jazz music. And so she stops and goes into this restaurant bar.
It's called Lipton's. Like the tea.
Lipton's, like the tea. And she goes in, and it's like she's almost hypnotized. We don't see who or what she's looking at, but she's obviously just very struck by this music that's being played. And suddenly we hear a very light sound of a horn, like a car horn, in the background that just gets louder and louder and louder until suddenly we are back on the highway whenever Ryan Gosling swerves around her whenever she was stuck in traffic. So now I guess we're following his day.
Yeah, we are smash cut to his point of view. We see him pulling up next to Mia from his point of view. She flips him off. He drives past. And he takes us to a drive-thru called Pete's Dairy. And we see him sitting outside watching a bar across the street called Van Beek, Tapas and Tunes. It is setting up for the evening, and he just looks disgusted.
Then we cut to him getting home, and this is one of my favorite moments of physical comedy, because we see him walking through the door and then looking to the left, and he does a full jump take, but we don't see what he's looking at. Basically, his sister has broken into his apartment, but it's just this really small, just like, you have to stop breaking into my apartment. It was like a really subtle, understated, very funny moment for me.
His sister is there. She nags him for not unpacking. It's like his apartment's very, very Spartan. Lots of boxes. There's a record player, like, totally set up, but like that is it. Really small detail, but he gets mad at her and makes her stand up from the stool she's sitting on because who sat on the stool?
Miles Davis?
Miles Davis sounds
a jazz
icon once sat on this stool, and he like has saved it, and it's like his apartment is like a museum
full of jazz paraphernalia.
Like classic jazz paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what, I'll unpack when I have my own club. And we get a little backstory that he...
Yes.
Do we know his name yet?
He was swindled.
We learn his name is Sebastian. And he was going to open up his own jazz club, and it turns out he got ripped off by the guy that he partnered with. And
swindled.
And everyone else knew this guy was a swindler. And now he's kind of back to square one. And his sister says, like, oh, you know what? I have someone I want to set you up with. And he goes, I don't want to meet anyone unless they like jazz. Which is...
She's like, no one likes jazz.
No one likes jazz.
At one point, she's like, you need to stop being so romantic about this dream. Unpaid bills are not romantic. And I am like, retweet!
Retweet!
But she leaves, and he threatens to change the locks, and she's like, you can't
afford it. But he has nothing in this apartment except his music. So he sits down at the piano that he has in his apartment, and he starts to play, and smash cut to a restaurant that is decorated for Christmas that he goes into and see J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons is there.
I forgot every single celebrity that was going to be in this film. I mean, there's not many. There's two.
I was so sad that he did not have more to do in this movie.
I know.
He like ended his scene, and I'm like, is that it? It was like, I felt like Alan Cumming in fucking Burlesque. I was like, is that all he's doing?
Sebastian greets, I don't even think we ever know J.K. Simmons' character's name. We'll just call him the boss. No. Sebastian meets the boss of this restaurant, shakes his hand. He's like, so grateful to have this job. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Have this job back.
Yes, have this job back. I guess he had quit this job to go open his own club, and then that fell through.
On shaky ground.
Shaky sweaters. And he's back for the holidays, and J.K. Simmons is like, you are only playing Christmas music. No jazz at all. And Sebastian's like, cool, so like 3 Christmas songs and then like 1 jazz. He goes, no jazz.
No jazz. Oh my god. And then Karen the waiter. Oh, Karen the waiter's the best. She just walks by and she's like, welcome back. And he's like, there was a nice way to say that, Karen.
We cut to later in the night. The tips are shit. Sebastian's bored, plinking out jingle bells.
God, it's the worst.
His next Christmas song that he plays slowly turns into an original piece, jazz original piece, and it's the musical theme that we heard before, and the restaurant disappears, and it's just Sebastian and the piano under a spotlight, and the music picks up and it becomes so
more freeform,
emotive, and it's beautiful, and it finishes in this big solo, and he finishes by like literally standing up, almost out of breath from playing this song. And
no one is listening. No one in the restaurant is listening to him except Mia,
who has walked in. They make eye contact, but just
and then J.K. Simmons interrupts their moment,
and he fires Sebastian. They argue, and he's like, "All right, I won't fuck up again." He's like, "No, there's not going to be another again. You're done. No. You're done. Get out of my restaurant." Mia sees this altercation occur, and as Sebastian goes to leave the restaurant, she walks up to him and she says, like, "I just heard you play and it was incredible." And he fully shoulder checks her, says nothing to her, and leaves.
And just walks out. To be fair, he was just fired. He's having a rough day, but this was a person who was like, who heard you.
Yeah.
She heard you.
She heard you.
And he was a bit of a dick about it. Don't worry, she gets it back. So we cut to her at another audition, and we get all of these cuts of different...
God, so many auditions.
One-line auditions.
Rough dialogue.
Really rough dialogue.
Cut to a pool party in LA, and we get the title card Spring. So we know that time has passed. Mia arrives at this pool party. Classic, just like someone's beautiful house in the hills. Gorgeous. That has a pool. Money. It's a catered event.
With a band.
Now, I do want to mention one of Mia's roommates is either agent or casting director, and she's invited Mia to this party, and she briefly introduces Mia to this guy that she's representing. I guess she's an agent or a writer who's just insufferable and talks about himself the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Mia very quickly evicts herself from that conversation, goes over to get a drink, and then goes to see the band that's playing, because it's a live band at this
It's a live band doing a cover band of like 80s pop
an 80s
class.
cover band, and she recognizes someone.
The piano player.
Yeah, Sebastian is in like all vinyl and is playing keyboard for this 80s band. And he just looks so
angry
over this job. But like, if it pays, it pays.
Yeah, but she recognizes him, and they finish up their song, and the band asks for if anyone has any requests. And she just
her hand rockets to the sky.
And when she does that, he sees her and then clicks and remembers that night. And she requests the song I Ran.
And he is so
livid.
Yeah.
It's like, how fucking dare you?
The leader of the band, the singer's like, all right,
well, yeah,
keyboard
great choice.
Man. And they start to do it, and she makes silly eye contact with Sebastian during this, and like dances a little bit, like just enjoying that he is so unhappy playing this song.
And then she does like a little toodles wave and then walks away.
Yeah, like a lovely little fuck you moment. Cut to a little bit later, Sebastian's on a break, and he goes up to her at the party, and he's like, all right, I remember you. Yeah. And I will admit, I was a total asshole the first time we met.
Great banter. So this
plus banter.
Honestly, their interactions make this movie, mostly because they're obviously so comfortable with each other. I mean, this is their third movie that they've worked together on, and so there's a level of comfortableness that they have with each other that let them speak over each other when they need to, like, have this really fun, playful back and forth. So it's great. But he says he remembers her and he apologized, and he's like, but requesting I Ran from a serious musician is very insulting. She's like, oh, serious musician? What are you wearing again? And he finds out that she's an aspiring actress, and they both just kind of shit on each other a bit, but in a very
they like play fight
kind of
shit
quality.
on each other.
Yeah. Anyway, he's called away with the next set, but he has some issues, I want to say, with being told what to do. This pops up a lot, in which every time the boss at the restaurant, or this guy who's running this band, or later on with a couple of other things, every time someone's like, hey, you gotta go. Like, we gotta go now. He's like, oh, I don't like being told what to do. And it's like, dude, you have a job. Grow up. I don't know.
Yeah, he's super defensive, and he tries to, like, argue his way out of every decision that he did not come to himself.
Right, yeah. Cut to later that night.
There's valet at this house party.
Yeah.
And Mia just like standing in a crowd of people who are like waiting to get their cars, and her ears being talked off by that stupid writer who's just mansplaining Joseph Campbell to her.
And he's
so mad.
I know. And he's like, and I want to do a reimagining of Goldilocks. There could have been a fourth bear. We don't know. And it's like, oh my God, die in a fire.
That actor did such a good job making that character insufferable.
Absolutely. But she sees Sebastian leaving.
Yeah, she sees Sebastian leaving and she calls him George Michael. She asks him to grab her keys as well since he's at the valet stand. And he's like, all right, what do you have? And she goes, it's a Prius. With really quick shot of the valet thing. Oh my God, so many Prius keys. And he's like, that's not helpful. But eventually he gives her car keys and we cut to them walking up a hill. There's cars parked on the side of the road for like miles. And they're just looking for her car. She can't find it. The clicker's not working.
He makes a recommendation.
Yeah, go for it.
So he says, oh, put the fob under your chin and it will expand the range. And this is correct because those particular fobs for the Toyotas, their range is expanded when they're near water, and your brain is mostly water.
It's mostly
so
water.
If you stick it under your chin, it actually does expand the range.
They walk to get their cars and they can't find her car, and they stop at this like gorgeous vista view, and they're both like, I've seen better.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Like again, like kind of like playful shit talking each other.
Yeah.
And Sebastian starts to sing the song A Lovely Night. And the lyrics are like, it's a gorgeous night, but it's such a shame. It's wasted on the two of us because we're not romantically interested in each other.
Nope. Definitely no romance here.
It's a cute love-hate duet.
Yeah.
And it's all in one take.
And the dancing is really fun. It feels like a Fred and Ginger moment.
Yeah,
or
there's tapping.
There's tapping, but it's not difficult tapping. And this is something that they talk about where all of the dancing is led by emotion. So even if they aren't remarkable tappers and they learned how to dance for this movie, it doesn't matter. I didn't care that it wasn't technically difficult steps because the emotion was there and the motion was correct.
Yes.
It was really lovely. It's one big, long dance.
One big long dance.
And the lighting.
Because they shot it at magic hour. So they only had
30 minutes.
2 days to do it, like 30 minutes each day. They just banged these takes out. But anyway, the song and dance ends. They come together at the end and they almost kiss.
There's a question mark moment.
And then her phone rings. And it's someone named Greg, who she's supposed to meet, and the moment is ruined.
Yes.
So Sebastian walks Mia to her car, and they're like,
she does the fob trick.
It's right here. Yeah.
It's very cute.
And she drives off, going to meet Greg, and he muses on the connection that they had, and then starts walking back in the direction that they came. Because when she was like, oh, can I give you a ride to your car? And he goes, no, it's just up here.
Yeah.
And so she drives off. And he lied like a liar. His car is all the way back at the house. Yeah. Right across the street. He walked all that way
just to be with her. Adorable. Anyway, so cut to later. Mia is walking down the street on the WB lot. She's sort of in a little bit of a moment of just like, I met a cute boy. And she gets to work and is immediately dashed by this lady who wants a refund because her bagel was not gluten-free.
Everything is bad. Her manager's like, all right, you're gonna close on Friday, and Mia's like, no, I have an audition. I can't.
Told you
manager's
about this.
like, I don't care, you're working Friday.
She's like, reschedule your audition, and I'm like,
are you
insane?
You work on the Warner Brothers lot. You should know better.
Anyway, while she's having this conversation with her manager, in the background, Sebastian appears, and they flirt a little bit while the lady's still waiting for her refund. Turns out he, snuck past the guards, and he's like, can I hide in your bathroom for the next 10 minutes until you get off break? And she's like, yeah, for sure. Then it's her break, and they start walking around, and she points out all of these really famous sets that are all around, like from Casablanca and things like that, and Seb sort of, pushes his way in and is like, so who's Gary? And so
Greg. It's Greg.
Oh, Greg, Gary. Yeah. They've been dating for a month, but she immediately changes the subject. Yeah. And he's like, I get why you work here. You're super passionate about this. I go out of my way just to be near a jazz club where all of the greats used to play. It's a samba tapas bar now. And she's equally as befuddled by this combination as he is.
Samba and tapas? Pick one. Do one.
Exactly.
And we learn that this is the jazz bar that this is the place that he was kind of sitting outside of and grumbly looking at.
Yeah.
when we first saw him.
Yeah. There's a moment where they wander onto a set that's actively rolling, and like, you know, the PAs are like, okay, you have to be quiet, and so they have to like get closer together and whisper, and I'm just like, yes, forced intimacy.
Forced intimacy. But yeah, it's a nice big like walking bonding scene where they get to know about each other. They're asking each other questions. She tells them about how she got into acting. It turns out her aunt was an actress, and they had a really good connection when she was a child.
And
she also wrote plays.
She lived across the street from the local library that had this collection of old classic movies, so she and her aunt would go and like rent all of these old movies together. And yeah, she wrote her own plays. And then she sort of starts talking, like they walk past this one place where they're setting up the lighting for what looks like this sort of old school huge
that girl
lot.
with the silver dress.
Amazing. And they just sort of stop and stare at sort of the majesty and the wonder of what's being created. And then she's like, I just love it. And then they walk away, and she starts talking about her auditions, which are rough, you know, bit tiny parts in things that don't make a lot of sense. And he's like, well, you said that you write plays. You should write your own stuff. Make history for yourself, like Louis Armstrong. And then she drops a bomb.
Well, she's like, okay, you know what? Challenge accepted. Maybe I will. And she can tell that, like, there's a little connection brewing here. But what she's about to say could be a buzzkill. So she's just like, all right, you know what? I gotta say it for who knows what else happens, but I hate jazz. And Sebastian stops in his tracks. What do you mean you hate jazz?
He's like, what are you doing right now? Like,
and then cut to them at a jazz club. She was on a break from work. She was done with work.
Fuck it. So yeah, she dips out of work. And he takes her to a jazz club, and she talks about how it's like the only jazz she ever really knew is like elevator music and Kenny G and like stuff that was like in
cocktail
the background.
Party background music. Yeah,
exactly. And so he gives a little bit of the Kenny G. He gives a little bit of the background of jazz and how intense it is, and it's all about conflict and compromise, and it's an art form that's meant to be experienced, not just listened to.
And like it should be experienced live.
Right. Well, it's like the difference between reading a Shakespeare and seeing a Shakespeare. You understand it more when you see it.
Yes. And he tells her about how his dream and it's his goal is to open up his own club to save this dying art.
Yes.
While they are at this jazz club, she takes a phone call and surprise, surprise, she got a call back for a TV show that she had been shit talking about 2 hours earlier.
2 minutes ago, yeah.
And she's like, she like tries to take back all the bad things about it. She's like, it's not as bad as I said it was. It's like Rebel Without a Cause. And he makes a reference to it and then very quickly realizes she's never seen Rebel Without a Cause. She just referenced it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they make like a cute date. He's like, well, you know, it's playing at the Rialto, which is a movie theater.
Yeah.
Well, let's go. We should go see it together.
On Monday for research purposes.
Yeah. No, it's not a date. It's research.
No, it's research purposes. And she agrees, and there's like a quick moment, and then they leave the club, and I love this shot. It's a huge wide shot where they both walk out of the door. They don't hug or shake hands or anything, but they just kind of look at each other and then walk in opposite directions. And then on their own time, right before they leave the frame, they each look back but don't see each other look back.
They miss each
other.
So
cute.
We cut to Sebastian walking on a pier on the beach, alone by himself, finds a mysterious bowler hat.
Don't put mysterious bowler hats on your head. That's how you get lice.
Don't pick up hats that you find on piers. Sorry, that made me think of like, what is the Monty Python thing of like, why are you taking swords from women?
Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
Yeah. Similar energy. You take anything from this podcast episode.
Anyway, the sky is gorgeous again. The sky's that same sort of like lavender purple, stunning.
Listen, LA has beautiful weather. I don't know what to tell you, except when it's on fire. But he starts to sing the song City of Stars kind of quietly to himself. There's like an older couple on the pier, and he dances with the woman, and then the old guy like playfully like slaps him on the shoulder, so he leaves them to dance with each other. Yeah. And he walks back down the pier. It's like a little somber moment of this song. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna call this song? This is our Something's Coming song.
Yeah, it is.
This could be. Who knows? There's one in every musical.
I wish you guys could see Anna's physicality when she does this.
It's a lot of like high shoulders, flailing arms.
It's a little bit gremlin.
Oh my
Cut to Mia at her callback. She walks in. They do not look interested. Like, they barely make eye contact. She does one line, and they basically just thank you next her.
Oh.
Awful. She leaves. She's very angry and frustrated. Ends up driving by that theater, the Rialto, that's playing Rebel Without a Cause.
We see her go from, like, so frustrated with the world, and then she sees the Rialto, and then we do see her get, like, oh, but I have a date.
I have a date.
Kind of. Like, that's, it's not a date. It's not a date. It's research.
It's research. But then we cut to her room with her thinking about Ryan Gosling. And I was like, same girl, same. And then who should appear but Greg?
Greg shows up at her apartment.
She's supposed to go to dinner.
Because his brother is in town with his brother's wife.
Yeah. She completely forgot that she was
yeah.
supposed to go to dinner with them.
And she can't get out of it.
Because he's there. He's there to pick her up.
Yeah. And there are cell phones in this film. We saw her get a call from her agent.
Yeah. They didn't exchange numbers. They didn't.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't know. I mean, they said, we'll meet there at 10. I mean, like, I get that also. Like, you just met this person. I don't know if I want to give you my phone number just yet. Let's meet in public at a place that we predetermine.
Okay.
Like,
I was thinking that they already had exchanged information, so she could have texted.
She could have. But
so sorry, but
forgot
she
a thing.
didn't have the means.
Yeah.
But so cut to dinner, the foursome of Mia and Greg's brother and Greg's brother's wife are at dinner. And this conversation is
the worst. Well,
abysmal.
First conversation is they keep shitting on movie theaters. They're like, they're gross, they're smelly, no one likes them anymore.
No one goes them anymore.
Yeah, and she's just sitting there like, I kind of really like going to the movies. I don't know.
And we do very quickly cut to see Sebastian waiting outside the theater for her. And
suit.
he's dressed up. He's dressed up for her.
Sweetie.
On a date that you're going to sit in the dark.
So cut back to dinner, and then
God.
What I wrote is they're talking about white people business things.
Oh, but they're talking about like how Greg's brother and his wife like just went on vacation to Indonesia, and there's just like this awful fetishization of we had the most amazing time, but they stayed at a 5-star
like an ecotourism luxury resort. And then they're like, we were thinking about investing in one of these in Nicaragua. It's like super underdeveloped.
But like we weren't sure if it was safe.
Yeah,
like,
it was just like some bullshit. Anyway, so
bullshit.
Mia is not comfortable or happy. And suddenly, over the speaker system, she starts to hear some slow jazz. And the universe is just telling her something.
I'm going to say it right now. This song that is the recurring theme of this movie is called, I think it's called Mia and Sebastian's Theme.
Mm-hmm.
I call it that for all of my notes. It's very recognizable.
Yes.
And it comes over the speakers and she hears it and she's like, you know what? Life is short. Fuck this. She doesn't say fuck this, but she like abruptly just gets up and leaves the restaurant. No explanations, runs down the street again in LA.
In the middle of the street. The amount of times that they just walk in the middle of the street and not on the sidewalk, I'm like, ma'am, safety.
Listen, it's a romantic film and there's flower petals flying in the wind. Yeah. And then, I love this shot. We cut to the movie theater. Sebastian is in the theater. He's sad because she's not there. The credits have, like, the movie has started or we're still in the trailers.
Whatever, yeah.
But
something.
Mia gets into the theater. She's there, but it's dark, so she can't see Sebastian. She goes up on stage at the theater, and the movie is projecting onto her, and she looks in the audience for him, and it's so classic Hollywood.
Ugh. It's dramatic. She looks like a classic Hollywood actress at that point with the outfit that she's wearing, with the lighting. It is beautiful, but I also had the thought, why is no one yelling at her to get the fuck out of the way?
Because it's a movie.
It's a movie.
But they see each other. He sees her, and he stands up, and she goes, and she sees him, and they go to sit down together, and they're so happy to be sitting next to each other.
Big first date vibes, especially like when you don't know sort of like what you can do yet. They like put your hand on your thigh. It's like, if you want to hold my hand, here it is. And he puts his hand on his thigh, and then they slowly like touch pinkies until eventually they hold hands.
And then they kind of lean towards each other and they go in for a kiss, and then the lights come up in the house because the film has gone bad.
Yeah, the
it's
film
like
is
fully melts across the screen.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to mention, this happens in the scene in Rebel Without a Cause where they're at the Griffith Observatory.
Yes.
And they're like, well, fuck, what the fuck do we do? Our movie's dead. Like,
and then
what are we
Mia's
going to do now?
I have an idea.
I have an idea. They drive up to the Griffith Observatory at night, which is
Did
definitely
they break
closed. They fully broke in. They sneak in, and this is a set, actually. They had to
Yeah,
build
they
this.
weren't
They couldn't
allowed.
film at night.
But they do like a fun, flirty waltz.
But they fully break into public property.
Yes, they do. This is a crime.
Their song starts to play again, and they begin to dance. They move into the planetarium.
She turns on this like sky presentation thing, so suddenly they're surrounded by stars.
And I really want to quickly point out, it's like this big lever, and she goes to pull it, but he pulls a handkerchief, because he has a handkerchief. And he old school, like, shimmy
Shines
cleans
it, yeah.
for her, and then he puts it back in his pocket.
It's all very atmospheric.
The stars come up, and suddenly that handkerchief floats up into the air, like there's no gravity.
And then they both
suddenly,
direct to camera look.
and then he kind of helps her start to fly.
Yeah.
And they fly through the planetarium and dance
in the stars. And then there's this fabulous shot, which I don't know if you're going to talk about later, of them slowly descending from the sky, sitting into chairs. The camera zooms in and they kiss. But this was all filmed in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Which was just the coolest thing. So it was actually a close-up, they kiss, and then it moves further out, and then they are lifted up into the sky, and they just reverse to the film, which was very smart.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah. It's just a good, I mean, because it looks so easy how they sit into the chairs, but that's because they weren't aiming. They just had to be pulled up. It was a lot easier.
Yeah.
Anyway, cut to later. Mia is at home starting to write her one-woman play. Very exciting.
Inspiration has struck. She's at the dining table in her apartment, and her roommate comes to sit down at the dining table, eating cereal. It's the morning. Just then, the same way Sebastian laid on the horn in the first scene.
He has a theme.
He's there to pick Mia up, and the roommate looks at me and being like, is this going to happen every time? And she's like, I think so.
It is.
And then we get the title card, Summer.
Yeah. And there's like so many shots of them going on dates and like their relationship really strengthening and life happening. Sebastian is playing at that jazz club that he took Mia to that first time. And it was at this point where I was like, did J.K. Simmons only have that one scene? Where is John Legend? And surprise, surprise, John Legend is about to arrive.
Surprise. He's about to come. So we are at this jazz club that he first took her to. He has a job there, I guess, occasionally, like playing piano. There's this really, really, really cool long shot in this scene.
Yeah.
Where, in this song, like we'll call it a song because it's an instrumental song, but it's great. And it's jazz. And Mia is with a bunch of people dancing, kind of bopping on the dance floor, and it keeps cutting back and forth from the band and Sebastian playing piano to Mia dancing, then back. That's not cuts. Have you seen the behind-the-scenes footage?
No, I haven't.
Of this? This is literally the cameraman with like someone on a steady cam going back and forth and back and forth. Like that was all live, all one take.
I love it.
That's my homework. I will find the behind the scenes footage because there's a lot of behind the scenes cinematography.
Yeah.
B-roll from this one.
Yeah. Amazing.
The cinematography!
So he finishes the song, and Mia has learned to love jazz and is like dancing and having a great time. And so they go to sit down, and who should appear but John motherfucking Legend?
I believe I have seen this film. I forgot John Legend was in this film. So when he showed up, I was like, oh, fuck, that's right.
Oh, that's right. So his name is Keith. He's an old school friend of Sebastian's. Now, Sebastian doesn't seem super thrilled to see him, but Keith does offer him a job. He's like, I just put together this band. We're going on tour. Like, we have been signed. We need a guy to play piano. And Sebastian says no. And Keith is like, no worries. Like, we should grab drinks soon. Like, I just wanted to give you the offer. Not offended at all. Later that night, Mia has just finished doing her one-woman show for Sebastian, just like in his room.
Yeah, in their bedroom.
Yeah, just like she finished writing it. She just wanted to go through it with him. And he's like, it's fabulous. He loved it. It was great. And they chat a little bit, and she shows him a logo that she made for him for his jazz club. It's Sebs, with like the apostrophe is a music note. It's just very sort of classic but fun. But he is deeply set on the name of this club being Chicken on a Stick for very deeply specific niche references to jazz history.
And he's so stubborn about it. And she's like, well, no one's going to know what that is.
No one knows what that is.
And he's like, no, it's got to be Chicken on a Stick.
And she's like, maybe you could go to a different location.
And he's like, no,
Hard
it has
pass.
to be Van Beek's.
Yeah.
Because he feels so strongly about not letting the new owners like stomp all over the storied history.
Right. Just then she asks about Keith and she's like, what's going on there? And he just sort of brushes it off and doesn't talk to her about it.
But he does say, he's like, look, I'm not going to take the job.
Not interested. Next morning, Sebastian overhears Mia on a phone call with her mother and basically hears her defending him and defending sort of his lack of consistent work, where, you know, I think he's saving up for this club. No, he doesn't have a consistent job right now. He doesn't have it yet. No, he will get it though, and you're going to love it. And he hears that, and you can see that it sort of affects him, that she's defending him and he isn't really making the steps.
Yeah, he's not doing everything he could possibly to make this dream happen.
Yeah.
Cut to him walking into Keith's rehearsal room, and they jam for a little bit, but Keith gives him him walking into the rehearsal room is Sebastian saying like, all right, I'll do this job.
Yeah.
Keith gives him a great deal. It's
my God.
Like $1,000 a week and a cut of the ticket sales.
And he's shooketh. You can see that he's like blinking a lot, just like, that's so much money.
Yeah. But it's a tour, which I'm not sure if it was clear when Keith saw him in the restaurant or not, but it is a tour. I think he mentioned
it, but it is, yeah.
There is a little bit of an audition kind of where he jams with the band and it's going great, and then Keith flips a switch and introduces this whole kind of electronic pop influence to the music, and Sebastian's very taken aback by this, but just decides to roll with it.
Yeah.
And Keith and Sebastian sit afterwards to chat, and Keith is like, look, I can tell right away this is not the style of music that you thought you were signing up for.
Yep.
And I love this conversation between John Legend and Ryan Gosling.
So interesting, because I did not.
Oh.
I liked what he was saying. This is a way to evolve jazz into something the next generation will love. Like, you're playing in a jazz place with absolutely only old people. Like, you need to evolve. Like, jazz is revolutionary, but you're being a traditionalist about this revolutionary art form. You're holding on to the past, but jazz is about the future. I love all of that commentary. It wasn't a conversation. It was a monologue.
Okay.
And that felt weird. It felt like a forced moment in which the director had this idea of like what he wanted to talk about, especially, and honestly, it felt like a correlation to musical theater, where it's like he's sort of being a traditionalist about musical theater with this movie, but also having a commentary about like, yeah, but we have to move on to the next generation. I love that concept, and I love those conversation pieces. It didn't feel integrated into the script. It felt like a monologue that the director wanted to have, and he just gave it to John Legend. Like, so that's
fair.
That's sort of where I was at with that.
That's totally fair, because it was the dialogue that I really liked.
Yes.
And you're right, it wasn't a conversation, it was a monologue, and it would have been interesting, although I will say, Sebastian has been so argumentative in so many other points that it would have been nice to see him engage with the conversation, because it's one thing to just sit and be lectured to, knowing he's got to take this job.
Right.
Based on the conversation he had, and like based on like what his goals are, he's got to take the job. He would be an idiot not to.
Yeah.
But it would be another thing to see him actually engage in the conversation, be like, I hear what you're saying, and here's what I counter with.
Right. Yeah.
Cut to Mia getting home to their shared apartment. It's his apartment, but they live together.
It looks like
now.
She's moved into his apartment, yeah.
She finds Sebastian, where we always find him, sitting at his piano, singing City of Stars. And this time, she sits next to him and joins in, and it becomes a duet.
Yeah. I have a hot take.
Love it. Give me the hot take.
I'm not a huge fan of their voices.
That's totally fine. This was not a sing your heart out musical.
I'm okay with that. I'll amend this. I understood why they had Emma Stone have a breathier voice in most of it, so that in her final song she could have a bit more of a belt, and I enjoyed that final song a lot.
I didn't like it this time as much as I did the first time, but we'll talk about that later.
I didn't like Ryan Gosling's singing voice.
Well, you're lucky because he does not sing much in this movie.
He doesn't sing much in this movie. But it's just, and I think it was because I knew going into it that it was supposed to be an homage to all these old classic incredible movies. And I just wanted Gene Kelly baritone.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be a full belt your heart out.
We
I
didn't
just
need
wanted,
oh God, what's his name?
Pat Boone.
No. Who is the guy from Camelot?
Oh, Robert Goulet?
Robert Goulet. I was trying to say Robert Duvall, and I knew that wasn't right. We don't need Robert Goulet.
No, but I just wanted something that was a bit richer toned, even if it was quieter and a bit more introspective. And that's not quite what he has. I think that their chemistry more than made up for it, but it was just in this
Agreed.
one particular moment where it was them doing a duet together that I was like,
But we get a montage in this song of Sebastian signing on the dotted line to join the tour. We see Mia giving her 2 weeks notice. Never quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job.
No.
But we see her working on her play while Sebastian gets fit for his tour outfits. She tours a theater and works on her script. We see him on tour.
yeah.
And at some point, the song ends.
Yeah.
But again, just don't quit your day job if you're going to do a one-woman show for one night only.
That's not how this works.
That's not how this works.
Anyway, cut to big crowds cheering.
Wait. Really, really quickly.
What I miss?
We also
Kinda
see a
sad.
couple quick shots of Mia and Sebastian passing like ships in the night. Like, she misses him. He's always on tour. She goes to sleep. He comes home late at night, sleeps late in the day. She's awake. They don't see each other, but she goes to see him on tour. I don't know
Yeah.
if this is supposed to be in LA.
Or somewhere close at least. But we hear cheering, and we see him under a spotlight, and then I wrote in all caps, finally Mr. Legend has started to sing! And we get a full John Legend song, and I love this fucking song. It starts out super, super jazzy, and Mia's in the crowd, and then it switches into pop, and Mia looks alarmed, at which point I'm like don't be so judgy!
It's pop funk because there's a big brass section, but it's definitely not the style of music she was expecting.
Yeah.
And the song is We Can Start a Fire.
I love pop music that makes the use of horns. Horns should be in more things.
All things.
Sebastian starts to play like synth piano. Mia pushes her way closer and like she's like bopping and grooving, but she looks confused.
Because this is not the best use of Sebastian's talents. He's literally playing the piano with one hand.
Yeah.
There are also backup dancers
And
on stage now. Like, it is
and
a full production.
Yeah.
And it's not what she was expecting. And it's she knows it's not Sebastian's
he
favorite
loves.
style of music.
And the song
But he
ends.
seems like he's having
but
a
I will
good time.
say,
He's bopping.
Yeah, the song ends, and he actually looks kind of pleased. Like, he's like,
and he
did a thing.
But Mia has left the audience by the time the song ends, so that when he finishes and looks up for her, he doesn't see her.
Oh, I missed that part. Thank you.
Yeah. When you said she was pushing her way forwards, she's actually pushing her way to the back. She's
Oh.
trying to get further away from the stage.
Rude. Like, stay for the thing.
Just
This is
stay
your
just because
boyfriend.
you don't like the music.
Yeah, whatever.
We then get the full
Yes.
title card, and we see Mia in a coffee shop writing an email blast about her one-woman show, which is called So Long, Boulder City, which is what we have established the name of the town she grew up in.
She
Nevada
grew up in
is
Nevada,
called.
yeah. We see her walking home. She leaves a message for Seb on the phone. It's like, I haven't heard from you in a bit. I really miss you. We keep like missing each other. And as she gets home, she hears jazz music coming from her apartment. So she comes in and there's a whole nice dinner laid out on the table. And there's another moment of great physical comedy where Sebastian just never knows when someone's in his apartment. He just like walks in with food and like almost just drops it because he's shocked that she's already home. Anyway, but he has to leave tomorrow to go to somewhere.
Boise.
Yeah, he was just like, I just had to see you. And they have dinner.
Yeah, and she greets him, and it's a big hug, and it's a nice romantic gesture. It's a surprise. But they have dinner. She talks about her play, and he says, I'm so excited to go see it. And she goes, I'm not really that excited. I'm super nervous.
Yeah.
And he says,
The audience should be so lucky to see you.
yeah.
Very cute.
And he invites her to come see his show in Boise. And she's like, I can't. I have rehearsal. My show's in 2 weeks.
And there's just a little bit of like confusion about what is
Yeah.
necessary. He was like, well, can't you just rehearse everywhere? It's just you. She's like, no, it's in
Yeah.
2 weeks. Like, I all of my stuff is here.
And it's at the theater, yeah. she then asks, what are you going to do after this tour? And he goes like, what do you mean? What am I going to do after this? I'm not done with it. We tour so we can pay for the record, and then we tour the record.
Yeah.
And she says she's just surprised he's going to stay with this band because this is like a multi-year commitment, at least 2 to 3 years.
She's like, I didn't know that this was important to you. And he was like, you mean you didn't know that it was going to be successful? And I was like, that's a leap.
Yeah, but she says like, do you like the music that you're playing?
Yeah.
And he's like, what, do
matter.
you? She goes, yeah, I like it, but I know it's not like...
It's not what you're passionate about.
Why should it matter whether I like it or not? And she says, or if you put your dream on hiatus, you should like the thing that you're putting it on hiatus to do, is her argument.
Yeah, and that seems a little bit fucking optimistic, because this man had no money and he wants to buy a club. He's getting paid $1,000 a week, plus extras. So him doing this for 5 years would fucking get him a club if he, like, played his cards right. It just seems like she's being fatalistic about this. Yeah.
The concept of long-term planning is just like, well, you have this dream, so do your dream. And I'm like,
it's like, well, to do the dream.
Do you know how expensive real estate is in Los Angeles?
Jesus Christ.
We're watching Selling Sunset right now. Wild.
Oh my God. So he gets offended and it's like, I don't know why you're tearing me down on this opportunity. I thought you wanted me to do this.
But you wanted me to be successful.
Yeah. And she's like, looks confused. And it's like, you wanted me to have a steady job. And I thought that this was what you wanted from me. So I don't understand what this conversation is. And she's like, I want you to be able to, like, take care of yourself, but I want you to be able to start your club. People like things that people are passionate about, and you're passionate about jazz, and now I love jazz because, like, you've taught me about it. And he brushes that off a bit and is like, you know, that's not my experience. I think it was just time to grow up, and it's not a crime to make money doing something that people like, even if I don't fully like it.
And they fight about both of them, like, needing to be liked, and he goes like, well, you're an actress, so you would know, which is a super low blow. And then he says, maybe you only liked when I was unsuccessful because it made you feel better.
Oh,
that is a stinging blow. And just then the smoke alarm goes off, so they just, like, sit for a couple seconds, and then he goes to investigate why the smoke alarm in the kitchen's going off,
and she fucking leaves.
She dips.
Yeah.
In the noise and the chaos.
I don't think either of them handled that conversation well. What the fuck was he cooking? He pulls it out. It's huge.
I thought it was like a
cake?
You know what a Dutch baby is?
No. Like a baby
a Dutch baby's like... No, a Dutch baby's a pancake that's made in a cast iron skillet, and it, like, puffs up on the sides. It kind of looked like that, but it also looked like a giant souffle or a turkey. I don't know.
He made something, but it burned.
And it was massive.
Honestly, neither of them handled that conversation well.
No.
Cut to, it's the day of the show, y'all.
It's the day of the show, y'all. Mia is at the theater. Her show is one night, and it is tonight.
Yes.
Sebastian is at the recording studio because they're recording their album, but he gets up. He's like, all right, I gotta go see her show. And Keith's like, where are you going? We have a photo shoot tonight.
Yeah.
And he's like,
fuck.
I forgot.
And cut to the show. Mia starts. She walks out on stage. We don't see the audience. And then we cut to the photo shoot. It is ridiculous.
And Sebastian, first of all, does not want to be there.
No.
They're, like, playing the song, and the photographer's going from musician to musician, and he gets to Sebastian, and he gives him really ridiculous notes of, like, bite your lip. But then he's like, all right, let's turn the piano live and just play something for me.
Play anything.
And instead of playing, you know what I just said? We didn't start the fire. The song is called We Could Start a Fire?
We can start it? Something like that.
We can start a fire? I definitely said just now, we could start a fire.
Instead, he plays their song.
He plays their theme.
Yeah. Cut back to Mia's play. She finishes and the lights go up so she can take her bow, and there's like 10 people max in the audience.
A bunch of friends down front. There's a reserved seat that has not been sat in. There's like maybe 8 people in this audience.
Yeah. And Sebastian isn't one of them.
Most importantly, Sebastian is not there.
Yeah.
Mia goes backstage.
And she hears the worst possible thing.
God, she hears people just like shit talking it. She'd be like, what was that? Good, don't quit
your day job. She wasn't even good. Like, awful. And I'm like, where the fuck are her friends?
Right?
This is the other time. Okay, because just then we cut to Sebastian arriving at the theater very, very late. And Mia comes out the side entrance. It's at this point that I'm like, where are her friends? Because what you do is you wait for your friend.
You wait for your friends. Yeah.
Yeah. But her friends are not there. And I'm like, bad, bad people.
Maybe those weren't her friends.
No, they
Maybe
were the
her friends
three
couldn't-
roommates. They were the three old
Okay.
roommates sitting together. It was the same people I checked.
Well, I'm glad her friends went to her show. Maybe they all had, I don't know. Anyway, so like Sebastian races to the theater. He tries to get in. The door is locked. He like looks for Mia and just then she comes out the stage door.
Yeah.
He apologizes over and over. Let me make it up to you. I'm so sorry. But she doesn't want him to make it up to her.
No,
and
she says she's done.
Yeah, and he's like, with what? She's like, everything. She breaks up with him. She's quitting acting, and she's going to move back to Nevada.
Yeah, she's
AKA,
like,
she's like,
no
done
one came.
with LA.
I can't pay back the theater. I'm done embarrassing myself. I'm going home. And he was like, well, I'll see you at home later. And she's like, no, home.
No.
I'm going home to Nebraska.
Nevada, not Nebraska.
No, god damn it. That makes more sense with timelines. I was so
Were you thinking it
confused.
was Nebraska?
I thought she was in Nebraska. And then he shows up later in his car and I'm like, how the hell did he drive to Nebraska?
Dummy, no, it's Nevada.
That makes way more sense in my brain. Okay, cool.
We next see Mia driving to Nevada and getting to her parents' house. Her parents greet her. She drops her bags in her childhood bedroom and sees all the like high school theater paraphernalia of like drama club and stuff.
Yeah.
We then really quickly see Sebastian at his sister's engagement party.
I think it's
He's playing.
wedding?
Is it their wedding?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It's
She's
a
in a white
backyard
dress.
party,
Yeah.
and no, she's not.
Is she not?
She's in a pink dress.
Oh.
She's in like a pink coral dress, which is why I thought it wasn't the wedding. But anyway, he's playing piano as a favor. It's a small backyard party.
Yeah.
And everyone is coupled up and he looks sad and lonely.
Yeah.
Then we see him lying in bed, fully clothed at his place, being sad, and then his phone rings.
Yes. And it's someone trying to find Mia. And he's like, she doesn't live here anymore. And they're like, yeah, I know. We've been trying to get in contact with her, but she's not answering her cell phone. We were told she might be here. She isn't. If you see her, I won't. Let her know that this casting agent is trying to find her. And he sits bolt upright in bed. Cut to Nevada. Mia is having dinner with her family, and suddenly we hear that car horn just being held. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a residential neighborhood. Like, doing that in the city is one thing, but like...
A guy comes out and like throws like food at him.
It's like a Yellow Pages. I don't know. But Mia immediately recognizes the horn. She goes out. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
We have neighbors.
Yeah.
And he's very aggressively delivers the news to her. It's like, Amy Brandt, casting director, you have an audition at 5:30 tomorrow. She came to see your play. She loved it.
And she says, that audition would kill me. It would kill me. I'm not going to go.
And he's like, why?
He
And she
starts
goes,
yelling,
can't
and
get-"
she's like, this is a residential neighborhood. You need to stop yelling.
Yeah. And it's like tough love yelling. It's not like mean yelling,
No,
but
no.
he's like, why? And she's like, I can't get hurt again.
Yeah.
It'll kill me. Like,
And
you
you know,
said.
maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like you said, maybe it's just time that I grew up and I don't want to do it anymore because it hurts too much. And his response is, you are a baby. I will be out here at 8 a.m. You either will be or won't be. Goodbye. But there is one quick moment where she's like, how did you find me? And he was like, it's the house in front of the library. Just referencing their first conversation ever.
He listens.
Yeah.
And he is there at 8 a.m., but he is outside for like
8:05.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he like starts to peel off, but she's there, came from behind. She went to pick up coffee for them. We don't see them drive, but like he drives to LA. She goes to the audition, and he waits with her at the audition.
He does.
It's not a thing.
No.
She goes into the audition,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a very different audition from the kind that she has been in.
Yes.
First of all, they look happy to see her.
The one lady is just like, I'm glad we got a hold of you.
Yeah. And they didn't give her sides. They tell her about the audition. They're like, all right, we're shooting in Paris, and there's no script.
We're going to tailor the script around whichever actress we go with.
And they say, just tell us a story. And she goes, like, okay, about? And they're like, just doesn't matter.
You're a
Tell
storyteller.
us.
Tell us something.
And she starts to tell them a story about her aunt, who was an actress.
Who used to live in Paris.
And then it morphs into the song, which is called The Audition, parenthetical, The Ones Who Dream.
Yeah. And we get just a little bit of backstory about her aunt, who was a little bit wild and an artist, but she suffered from alcoholism and ended up dying. And it's a very emotional, well-acted song. I really enjoyed this because, you know, the lights go down and it's just her singing with a close-up.
Again, all one take.
Now, you said that you felt differently about this song this time.
I did. I really want to quickly talk about like what this song is about.
Okay.
The song is about her aunt and how important it is to have dreams and to not always live in just like the stagnant reality of things and to hold on to that. Even if the dreams are ridiculous, it is so important. And the song is cheersing to the ones who like dream the biggest. Yeah, the only thing I thought about this was, you're right, the song is the emotional crux of the film, and Emma Stone's voice has been a very breathy style up until this point, and she does get to put a little more weight into this.
Yeah. It does sound a bit forced.
That's the only thing.
I didn't mind that it sounded forced because it was so emotional, and I didn't need it to be perfectly healthy, if that makes sense.
I guess maybe my memory of it was that this was like a nice clear belt.
Oh, and
then it wasn't. Because I remembered that there's weight behind the voice and she really puts her all into it. So maybe I just misremembered it. And that was the only note I had.
And fair enough. The song ends. We cut to Sebastian and Mia in Griffith Park by the Observatory.
Yeah.
And she's like, they told me that I'll find out in the next few days. And he's like, no, you're gonna get it. And so she asks, where are we? Like us.
What do we do now?
And he says, when you get this part, you're gonna have to give it everything. You're gonna go to Paris. This is important that you give every single bit of yourself to this. And I have to give my dream every bit of myself. If I'm going to make owning my own club work, I have to give 110% of myself, and we just both have to pursue our own path right now, and I don't know if that path is parallel.
Yeah. And they say, well, I'm always gonna love you.
Yeah,
but it's very much with the understanding we are going our separate ways, but we will always carry love in our hearts for the other.
And then they do another quick thing of like, yeah, this view sucks, doesn't it? It's like horrible view.
Then we get our last title card, which is Winter, and then we get 5 years later.
Yes. A very fancy lady in fabulous heels walks into the WB Lot coffee shop and turns around, surprised. It is Mia. She is now very famous.
She's now the movie star.
She's the movie star. Love it. Sorry. So I had a typo which says, cut to Sebastian tasting a piano.
Good.
Sebastian is testing a piano that has just recently been tuned. And at a club, he signs a thing. He says he'll be there tonight, etc. Mia gets home and says hi to her husband, surprise, surprise, who is not Sebastian. They have a very adorable child.
They have a daughter. Yeah. And then we see Sebastian separately getting home to a new place, and it's
apartment
decorated.
Is nice.
Yeah, these are very, very quick scenes.
Yeah.
But we see him later, same car, pulling up to the club that he left.
Oh, refurbished, though. That car is looking good.
He walks past a billboard that's about Mia's new film.
Yeah.
And we see him go inside a club. We then cut to Mia and her husband. We see them leave for a date night. They say goodbye to the babysitter.
Yeah.
And then we see them stuck in traffic. And we get a little dialogue between them. Like, they're supposed to go see, I think, a movie.
Of, like, her friend is in.
But, like, we could always go see it when we're in New York. So I guess they go back and forth.
And they decide to bail on their plans to go see this piece.
Because the traffic's just gridlocked. Like, there's no way they're going to be late. And they're right by an exit ramp. So they're like,
let's just pull up
Mia
and get
turns
dinner.
to her husband. Like, do you want to go just, like, get dinner? Which I love spontaneity in a relationship, and I think that's super important. And her husband's just like, yeah. So they pull off. We don't see them get dinner. We see them walking after dinner to go pick up their car from where they parked it. And then Mia's about to get in the car, but then her husband turns and hears jazz music.
He's like, do you want to check this place out? And so they go in.
It's down a flight
of stairs. And he turns the corner to go in, and she stops dead because right at the bottom of the stairs is the logo that she made for Sebastian, saying Sebs with the little music note as the apostrophe. She freezes, and her husband comes back and is like, this place looks really cool, and like pulls her in. So they grab a table that's just randomly available. Sure.
Really quickly, I want to say, like, this place is popular, this place is
Yes.
packed, and all of the stuff that was in his apartment, all the jazz classic memorabilia is on display there, but it also feels really modern. But yeah, they get a table down center.
Sure.
Absolutely not.
No.
Mia looks overwhelmed.
They watch a band finish their song, and just then she sees Sebastian walk on stage to thank the band. And so he like thanks each band member in particular, and then he turns back to the audience and sees her and loses his
All of,
like words for a minute, and suddenly says, "Welcome to Sebs," and then walks to the piano. And he starts playing their song.
Yeah, he sits for a second. He's not sure what he wants to play.
Yeah.
But then he starts to play their song. And we are whoosh, 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 whoosh,
Whooshed.
transported back to the first time they met in that Christmas restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
We see the moment of him getting fired and walking out. And she goes up to him to say, "I heard your music and I thought it was great." And instead of him shoulder checking her,
Does a big
we
old
get a
romance
big old
kiss.
kiss. Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
And then this turns into a giant musical number down
Big
memory
old-fashioned
lane,
dance
like
number.
an alternate
An
version
alternate
of their
version in which
relationship.
they weren't human, honestly. They didn't make any mistakes. It all worked out.
It takes us through their relationship. We like see all their dates. We see him in the audience for her show. We see that casting director casting her. We see this really cool silhouette version
Ugh.
of her audition.
Yeah, which was gorgeous.
And then in this universe, he went to Paris with
her, and
She
he
shoots her
played at a
film
club in Paris,
Yeah.
and then we see some footage of them like putting a house together and having a kid
in a home and like having kids. Yeah.
and it ends with
And then
them going to dinner.
everything that we have seen of her new life, Sebastian is now her husband.
Right.
They bail on their movie plans. They go to dinner. They go to a jazz club together spontaneously. And it's when they come down the stairs and enter the jazz club of that universe that we cut back to this universe.
To reality.
And Sebastian has finished playing the song. Mia is sad in the audience, but everyone else like bursts into uproarious applause.
I won't even say sad. It's just longing, wistful,
Yeah,
nostalgic.
longing. We'll call it long.
But like not I want this now, but like
Correct.
a sadness of this could have been. And it's not, and I like my life now.
It was a path not taken.
Yes.
Everyone burst into applause. Mia's husband leans over me like, "Do you want to stay for another song?" And she goes, No, we should get going. They leave, and just as she's about to leave, she does turn back one more time to look at Sebastian,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a moment of eye contact and uncertainty, and then they smile
And
at
nod
each other.
at each other.
Yeah.
And she leaves, and he turns back to the piano. And that's the end. So, Anna, after having watched that a second time,
Mhm.
you said that you enjoyed it more because there wasn't a
Mhm.
comparison.
Yeah. The first time I watched this was leading up to the Oscars.
That was a good year for Oscars, if I'm remembering
It was.
correctly.
The first time I saw it, I watched it, but I was thinking about it in comparison to all the other films, so I was inherently more critical. But this time watching it, I could just enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate what I said at the beginning, a lot of what I had heard the criticism was that people didn't like the ending, and I fucking loved the ending.
Mhm.
I love it when a musical doesn't need to give you a happy ending.
That is the trend.
That is the trend. Well, and this stems from Finding Neverland, the musical, which
Oh, yeah.
they tried to end happy, and I'm like, have you
No,
ever
no.
seen the movie? It's not a happy ending. It's a
Yeah.
hopeful ending, but it is an ending filled
And that's a
with
very
sadness.
important difference.
And that's an important emotion. And I got so mad in the theater. I remember this. I went with Izzy. I was
Yeah.
like, and she walked out being like, that was so much fun. And I'm like, oh, I have
Furious.
rage.
Oh, gosh. So, shall we do a little dramaturgy report?
Yeah.
Dramaturgy report, dramaturgy report. This was written and directed by Damien Chazelle, who is an American film director, producer, and screenwriter. Prior to La La Land, he was best known for his breakout success on the film Whiplash, which I didn't know this, started as a 18-minute proof of concept film that went to Sundance, and from there was able to be
Turned
produced.
into
But
the movie.
he's done. He did La La Land. He's got a film called Babylon that's coming out later this year.
Cool.
But like La La Land was a work in progress for many, many years. And he ended up doing Whiplash first because it was easier to pitch to investors and producers.
Yeah.
The cinematographer is Linus Sandgren, who is a Swedish cinematographer, frequently
yes, Linus.
collaborators with Damien Chazelle, David O. Russell, Gus Van Sant, and a duo of Mans Mardland and Bjorn Stein. forgive me if I mispronounce those, but he's known for unique and unconventional formats of cinematography.
Yes.
And it was a collaboration because Chazelle really wanted that all the musical numbers be in as close to one take as possible, a la the golden age of cinema. And so, honestly, I should have done, who was the fucking Steadicam operator on this film?
Right? Jesus Christ.
Those things are not light.
Those are heavy as shit.
And like, to do an 8-minute take, that person deserves all the credits. But yeah, that's my very brief dramaturgy.
All right, just a little bit about how the script of La La Land got made. Damien Chazelle wrote the screenplay in 2010, and his idea was to take the old musical but ground it in real life where things don't always work out exactly like you plan, and to salute creative people who moved to Los Angeles to chase their dreams. So he conceived of this film whenever he was a student at Harvard with his classmate, Justin Hurwitz, and they explored this concept in their senior thesis, which was a low-budget musical about a Boston jazz musician. After graduating, they both moved to LA and continued writing this script. And rather than trying to match LA to like the charm and appeal of like, say, Paris or San Francisco, he focused on the qualities that make LA a very distinctive city, which is the traffic, the sprawl, the skylines. And it does share some character development and themes with his previous work, which was Whiplash. He's quoted as saying, "They're both about the struggle of being an artist and reconciling your dreams with the need to be a human. La La Land is just much less angry about it." So he was unable to produce the film for years because no studio was willing to finance an original contemporary musical with no familiar songs. But he believed that since he and Hurwitz were unknown at the time, that it might have made financiers dubious about the project's potential. Fair enough. Though he found producers through friends who introduced him to Fred Berger and Jordan Horowitz, and those two producers got on board. Then the script went to Focus Features for a budget of around $1 million, which is not a lot.
Not a lot.
But like a solid indie film. But the studio was demanding alterations. So they said it shouldn't be a jazz pianist, it should be a rock musician. The complicated opening number had to be changed, and it needed a happy ending.
No, and no.
And so Chazelle was just like, thank you, no, and backed out of the project with them. Luckily, he didn't sell them the script. So then later, Chazelle wrote Whiplash, which was an easier concept to sell. After it was so well received at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival, he sort of restarted his efforts to bring La La Land to the big screen. Eventually, Summit Entertainment and producer Mark Platt, who I'm pretty sure is Ben Platt's dad,
It is.
agreed to invest in La La Land and distribute it. Lionsgate also signed on, ended up getting a budget of $30 million, which allowed them to rent out the Griffith Observatory for filming. A full day rental there costs $10,000.
Who do you think you are, Griffith Observatory?
Right? So that's kind of the process that he went through to get that made. As I said, the songs in the score for La La Land were composed and orchestrated by Justin Hurwitz, his friend from school. The lyrics were written by Pasek and Paul, except for Start a Fire, which is the name of the song, which was...
We got so many iterations of
We
it.
had so many options. That was written by John Legend, Hurwitz, Marius de Vries, and Angelique Sinilou. And film's opening number, Another Day of Sun, received a lot of praise for its choreography, which, as I said before, was Mandy Moore, who is a remarkable choreographer.
And is not the same as the actress Mandy Moore.
No, not the actress Mandy Moore. Actors and casting, not a lot in here. Basically, there were two people that were originally supposed to be the main characters, and then they swapped them out with Emma and Ryan.
Yeah.
At one point, it was set to star Miles Teller and Emma Watson. Now, Teller eventually dropped because of contract negotiations went on too long, and so they ended up going with Ryan Gosling. And Emma Watson turned down the role because of scheduling conflicts with Beauty and the Beast. And coincidentally, Ryan Gosling turned down the role of the Beast in Beauty and the Beast to be in La La Land. So, back to you.
Is that it? Okay.
That's what I got.
So, I don't know what to say. This was a big fucking hit. So, interestingly, it was supposed to come out over the summer of 2016.
Right.
However, in March, they decided to push it to December of that year. And Chazelle has admitted this because he wanted it to have a slow rollout for fall film festivals and then culminate in a December release.
Fair enough.
It grossed so much money, $151 million
So much money.
in the US and Canada, and worldwide total $446.1 million against
on a $30 million budget. That is a hell of a pullback.
Yeah. That's it. That's reviews and perceptions.
Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about singing and dancing?
Yeah. Dancing, I mean, as I mentioned, Mandy Moore, just in terms of the opening number, it was so hot. Oh my God.
It's like 109 degrees.
109 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 43 degrees Celsius. And that was filmed over like 2 days. Each performer had 2 spare sets of costumes stored in cars so that they could change in between takes. And to maximize filming time, the choreographer started rehearsals in May of 2015. And during filming, to avoid being accidentally filmed on the overhead camera, Mandy Moore was hidden beneath the car so she could bark instructions to the dancers. I mean, the big group dance was fabulous. I had a great time with that. The waltz and soft tap that we got from Emma and Ryan, both of whom were not dancers. They trained with Mandy Moore really heavily.
I'm sorry, Ryan Gosling is a dancer because he was on the Mickey Mouse Club.
Cool.
Have you never seen him doing his little, like, freestyle dance on it? Ryan Gosling has dance training.
No. Regardless, they worked with Mandy Moore to cater to their specific style of dancing and to make it match with what their bodies could do, which is great.
My only critique of the Hollywood Hills dance, I know they're not dancers. I take that with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they had a crazy time limit. I felt that scene was missing just like 10% more of either eye contact or enjoyment, like acting enjoyment of the like acting
they felt like
through
they were
the
focusing.
dancing. I could tell they were focusing.
They did a great job.
They did a good job for the amount of prep time they had and like what was being asked of them. If I'm going to be like super, super nitpicky, those are my notes, but like how dare I have notes?
Exactly. No, same. And it's the same thing for the vocals where it was a quiet musical.
And think about who they were going to cast originally. Like, it's not like they had Broadway actors ready in the wings. It's not like they were going to have Aaron Tveit and like Samantha Barks in this.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Can you imagine this film with Aaron Tveit?
And Samantha Barks. That gives me some emotion.
If that had happened, I would have been so upset that Sebastian didn't have more songs.
Yeah. Give me more. Yes. So I think it was right for the tone. This is a quiet musical, despite the fact that it is extravagant.
And because there were, between the opening number and the party, we did get big dance numbers and we did get strong choral moments. And we got the whole tour with John Legend. Like, while it did highlight the difference in vocal styles, it didn't make me like super antsy because we had variety.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have gripes?
Do I have gripes?
I mean, I already talked about my gripe was that because I knew that it was an homage to old musicals, I kind of wanted like a Gene Kelly baritone, and that just wasn't there. But like, that's just my only real thing. That and the fact that no one ever yelled at her to sit the fuck down whenever she was blocking the movie screen.
I guess, all right, maybe I'm going to go on a tangent here. The film really pointed out Sebastian's character flaws in that, like, how argumentative he is. Whereas all we got from Mia was she was scared of failure. Which is not a character flaw so much as a character trait.
I mean, like,
and maybe we didn't need a film where both main characters have deep issues.
Deep flaws.
I guess I just, in comparison, she seems kind of just like perfect and lucky.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's my only note. Giggles.
Cool.
Had a lot of giggles.
My giggles were, and I had pointed them out during the recap, where it was just like Ryan Reynolds had 3 moments of just like really small, subtle, really funny physical comedy.
Yeah,
that and then the fucking sea of Prius keys.
I guess I'll make my moment of joy the opening number because I'm a sucker for a big opening number. And this is why I was frustrated with Cinderella, because it was a quieter opening number. It was just like the duet. Yeah. And I want Dancing in the Street all the time for opening numbers.
Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, fun facts.
You go first.
Okay. Mine was just in terms of the piano playing. So, according to the composer, all of the piano performances featured in the film were first recorded by pianist Randy Kerber during pre-production. Then Ryan Gosling spent 2 hours a day, 6 days a week in piano lessons and learned all of the music that he plays in the film by heart. So by the time that filming began, he was able to play all of the piano sequences seen in the film without the use of a hand double or CGI. And John Legend was quoted as saying something to the effect of just like he was super jealous of how quickly he picked up that sort of jazz, because John Legend had to learn how to play guitar for this show because that was what his character played. And he was just like, how dare he get this so quickly?
So my fun fact is that Sebastian has a line that says, "That's LA. They worship everything and they value nothing." That's actually an ad-libbed line by Ryan Gosling, who is quoting his partner, Eva Mendes, as it's something she once mentioned as a joke. And I don't know, maybe it's just because like we're watching a really vapid LA-based reality show right now, but I was just like, yep, that tracks.
that tracks.
Oh my god.
You were gonna pull up some homework.
Yeah, I have some links, and they are to be determined, but I'm gonna link some stuff, hopefully, that is showing the behind-the-scenes fantastic work of the Steadicam operator from this film.
My homework was gonna be, I don't know, go to a jazz club.
I was literally thinking about that. I was like, I haven't been to a jazz club in so long.
I haven't been to a jazz club in a really long time. Cool. I think that's all she wrote.
I think that is literally all she wrote because I have no more notes. If you're still here, I hope you enjoyed this journey with us. This has been 5, 6, 7, 8, a movie musical podcast. I've been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Have a lovely rest of your night. Take care of yourselves and each other. Goodbye.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.